Welcome to Anything Goes podcast. I'm your host, Kombat AllStar.
Hey guys!
Yes, Random Girl is here with us. Special guest, I guess. But yeah, I like having her around, so it's cool.
Am I a special guest if I was a regular and then I took a break and now I'm back?
I don't know. I mean, your name is on the beginning. It says Kombat AllStar Random Girls.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, disclaimer on all the shows. Episode 101 moving forward, it will be off of YouTube. It'll be on archive.org and Stitcher once I get that sorted out. In the meantime, enjoy us on that 2-day delay on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to be talking about Star Trek. What is it called? Star Trek, the new TV show by CBS. Why am I drawing Discovery? Star Trek Discovery. Sounds like I don't know, man.
Like it sounds
National
like
Geographic.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, we got more news on it. Comic-Con came and went. And they were basically talking about how the show is just... It's bad. It's bad. The fan reaction at Comic-Con was really bad. They're saying that it's canon in the Star Trek universe, but it's not at all. They're making up things like Spock had a sister who's going to be,
Really?
Yeah. So the main character of the new show, she's supposedly Spock's adopted sister who's human. And they're just doing a bunch of really weird stuff with the show, and there's a lot of issues with it. So there's been a lot of rumors of people behind the scenes are telling the actors, after we shoot this thing, go and find work someplace else. They're looking at having like a backup plan, shooting a show that everyone actually wants. So it's just been kind of a train wreck. But aside from Star Trek, we also got the Orville that's happening, which is Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek show.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be directed. Some shows are going to be directed by Jason Frank, and the other one's going to be directed by, I never remember his name, Tom Petty from Star Trek Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
So those two guys are going to be, they're behind it with Seth MacFarlane, and it looks pretty cool. It's a lot like Star Trek, but it just has some humor in it. So, I don't know, what do you think about all that? I know it's a lot to...
I don't really know much about either of them.
That's okay, I mean, but you saw the trailer for the Orville and everything.
Orville?
Yeah, with Seth MacFarlane.
Well, that one seemed kind of funny. They also had, I forget her real name. What's her last name? Penny something.
Oh, yeah.
But she was...
Yeah, she was the girlfriend of Cisco.
Yeah.
In Deep Space Nine. She was the captain of the freighter ship. And she ended up getting married to him and all that.
Yeah. So she's going to be in there, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, the guy from Legends of Tomorrow is going to be in there too. Dr. Stein.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it looks cool. It looks fun. Mm-hmm. It looks something that we've, kind of been needing. Mm. So, yeah, I can't wait to check that out. So that show just seems like a lot of fun. I don't know. It's. I know there was. I've been looking online and reading.
When does that show premiere?
You asked me that before and I didn't know, but good thing I did research.
Oh, okay.
September 10th. It's coming out. So it'll be on Fox September 10th. I think around like 8:00 ish.
Mm-hmm.
I know they do a whole Eastern Standard thing when they announce the time, but I think it's going to be 8:00 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's interesting to have. It's funny. I was just talking to Random Girl about like there needs to be more space shows because I miss it. I'm thumbing through Netflix. I'm trying to find something good, and I cannot find anything good. Everything good that I've already watched. I've already watched, or they've taken off Netflix.
Yeah, and not just space shows, but like actual good space shows.
Right, not like I don't know what's a bad space show.
Can't think of any right now.
Yeah, but there's bad ones, like that one you were watching, Dark Matter.
Whatever, Dark Matter is actually kind of fun.
But she likes Dark Matter, but I don't know. I feel like there hasn't been really any good space shows. I mean, they had that. What was that one that was kind of like Dark Matter back in the day?
Can't remember.
Yeah, gosh, on the tip of my tongue, Nathan Fallon was in it. Was it Nathan Fallon? I don't think so. Maybe not. Moving on. Yeah, there's been
Serendipity.
No, that's a space show.
I thought it was too. I thought it was as well a movie and a TV show.
I don't know. I've never even heard of that before. There was one. It was one that everyone had a cult following and everything, and Lawrence Fishburne's wife was on there.
That's what I thought it was called.
No, it wasn't called that. It was called something else. But yeah, that show happened. I mean, back in the day, there was a lot of space shows. What was it?
Stargate?
The Stargate, yeah, that's a space show too. But I think, yeah, Space Rangers was one of them. The Lex was one of them. All your different Star Treks that were happening. Even some shows were happening at the same time.
Wasn't it Serenity? It was something like that.
Yeah, Serenity, yeah.
That's Serendipity. That's the comedy with...
I was like, what are you talking about?
Serenity.
Yeah. So, yeah, Serenity was the show that I was thinking of. But now there's just like none.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Orville's coming. Hopefully it'll inspire more people to do that. I did hear that there was supposed to be like a Galaxy Quest TV show.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened with that.
Oh, well.
I think it would have been cool.
Yeah. Maybe tired of movies turn into TV shows.
That's true. But still, it would have been awesome to actually, see that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of other space shows. Why do you keep laughing at me? There's a couple of other space shows. But yeah, like I said before, there's like none now. I mean, thank goodness that the Orville is coming, and hopefully it'll inspire more shows to come. I was reading online and listening to some videos of real like hardcore Star Trek people, and they were saying that what their idea was to actually have no more prequels, just something that took place after Voyager, which was the last chapter.
Since that's what they were doing anyway. Besides Enterprise, that was a prequel as well.
Right. Well, yeah, Enterprise was okay because it kind of explained where things came from,
which I wanted to know anyway.
Right, and actually, I know people didn't like Enterprise, but I liked it a lot. I wasn't a big fan of Star Wars until I watched Enterprise.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek Enterprise.
You say you weren't a fan of Star Wars. You did type of locally.
Whatever, you know what I mean? I wasn't a fan of Star Trek until I watched Enterprise, because the thing I liked about Enterprise was you got to meet all these species for the first time. So I felt like I was a crew member of the ship, and I got to look through their eyes and see what was going on. So to me, that was awesome. I loved to explore and find things out for the first time with the human race, and by the end of it, I didn't feel so lost. And I felt like I could watch any Star Trek, and I would be good to go. So that was my favorite one. That's the one that got me into Star Trek. But going back to what I was reading online, these ideas of these guys, it takes place after Voyager. So after Janeway not directly after Janeway came home, but like maybe a couple years after, she finally comes home. And their idea was to have like this unit or this like task force of Starfleet where they would get missions. So you know how like in Enterprise or in any Star Trek, it's like, oh, we're close to the problem. We're the closest one there. Let's go and see what's going on. And they have to be diplomats and all that. This force would actually get the news from the Vulcans or whatever, and then they would go out and they would investigate. So if there was a skirmish between Andoria and Vulcan, they would go out, see what's going on, send a diplomat. And the episode would just follow, that department as they take on cases, kind of like an NCIS, a little bit, but with the Star Trek.
Yeah.
And what their big idea was too is like if there was a special, like if there was an episode about the Dominion, they could invite Sisko, so Benjamin Sisko could guest star, and you see him, and you have all the people from Star Trek kind of rotating in and out of that as needed or as necessary.
Or for Captain Janeway, I forget which quadrant she was in, but she was like way, way far away. But if they needed help as far as getting if they needed help getting to know about the species back in the quadrant where she was at, then she can give information.
Exactly, yeah. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea and an interesting take on it. The only thing that would suck is like you kind of have. I mean, how would you do that really? Like you'd have to have like a bunch of crews that you're getting to know.
And then also you could see where they progressed. Maybe if they married or I don't know, you just get to see where they, what happened to them.
And I have to mention, maybe in each episode, depending on how they do it, you get to see like Earth more often. So see how it builds up.
Exactly.
They touched on that a little bit in Enterprise because they went back so often. But I thought that was pretty cool to see what Earth is doing.
Exactly,
and how it looks. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty cool idea.
I think that they should do that. do a sequel instead of a prequel.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, this new Star Trek, Discovery bombs, and then we can go ahead and have something
Spock's
good.
sister and all this weird stuff.
Yeah, what is up with that?
I don't know.
Yeah, and they were saying like Spock was always troubled, and there was an episode where he was actually talking about how he didn't understand humans, and he was really saddened by it. And if he had a sister that was human, that was adopted, that conversation wouldn't take place. So it's a lot of things that it doesn't make sense, and a lot of the fans are saying that this is really a prequel to the movies, the Star Trek movie, and those in that universe, which makes a lot more sense because it's totally separate from the main TV storyline canon. But they're trying to sell this as a part of the TV show, which doesn't make any sense. Even like the bad guys, the Klingons, how they're supposed to be some religious sect, and all these houses were broken up, which never happened in the other one. So just kind of making stuff up and throwing it in there to make it interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
And another big point was it's really dark, and Gene Roddenberry was all about happiness and a better tomorrow, and these small conflicts in the world of the quote-unquote better tomorrow. And they're just making it all humdrum and grim. Because I think the director was like, yeah, we're taking this in a new direction, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, it's not Star Trek then. Call it something else. Call it Discovery. Who would watch a show called Discovery? I don't know.
I don't know why people were so obsessed. Me and Combat were talking about that. We're watching a YouTube
Video?
Videos, yeah, where a lot of the writers were wanting to take it to a darker element, which I don't understand, because Gene Roddenberry he wanted like a better tomorrow. Right. He wanted the whole society of Earth to be more at peace, and we're supposed to be explorers. So, and a lot of them just want gore, blood, war. Like, I don't understand why.
Yeah, and I mean the darkest that it should have gotten, and the darkest it did get, was in Deep Space Nine, which I don't think is all that dark.
Yeah.
It was like dark for Star Trek, but it wasn't necessarily a dark show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was grim, it was sad, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is dark.
And it was only because they were in a war. They were fighting against the enemy, and it was a war for humanity. So it made sense. But yeah, they're taking it to another place where just totally...
Yeah, they're just trying to get ratings and not sticking to the Star Trek formula at all, which is stupid.
And it totally backfired. I mean...
and Star Trek has a huge following, and like, of course, they're not gonna like that.
Yeah. And it's like fans are gonna put up with that, and this show's been going on since what, the late '60s. So there's no way a show that's run so long is gonna take such creative liberties and just make it a departure from what it's always been, and then be totally okay with that. Fans are gonna, they're gonna lash out, especially loyal, dedicated fans and Star Trek fans, who are known for lashing out at stuff like this. So
Star Wars and Star Trek, like the strongest.
Yeah, so I don't understand why. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I have no idea, and not to mention it's going to be airing only on CBS All Access, which is retarded.
What the heck is that?
It's an app that CBS has, so you're gonna be able to watch it on TV. Internationally, you can watch it on Netflix because they paid a ton of money for the rights, and then in the United States, only on CBS Access. And by the way, Netflix isn't happy about it because they thought they were getting this gem, and it was going to be exactly what Star Trek fans want, because apparently Star Trek is doing really, really well on Netflix, regardless of how old they are. All of them, even Enterprise, the one that people, like the least. I don't. I love it.
My favorite, definitely Next Generation.
But they're all performing really well, so they spent a lot of money buying this new Star Trek that they thought all the fans would like. And apparently after Comic-Con, they're really upset with CBS. They think that they paid Rolls-Royce price and got a Honda Civic.
What's on CBS anyway?
Nothing. They're doing this to try and launch their app. So they have this app. It's a subscription-based app. No one's buying it. No one cares. So they're trying to do this Star Trek show to put it out on Front Street and make people care, make people buy it and all that. So it's a bad strategy, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I guess we do know what they're gonna do, but it's just awful. Yeah, but luckily we do have the Orville, which surprisingly is more Star Trek than Star Trek. It's weird.
I wish the fans could come up with something. That's what I'd like to see.
The Orville, the fans would come up with something. You got the writers from the previous Star Trek,
yeah, and that's good.
One of the biggest Star Trek fans out there.
Yeah, I know. But do you know, like, You know, like the series that we watch with Street Fighter.
There is.
Well, I wish there was something like that where the fans came together and did Star Trek like that.
They did.
What's wrong?
Your hands are like about to hit the mic or something.
I was aware.
Yeah, yeah. There is a show. I actually saw the preview for it for the first time. Apparently there was some legal issues though because they used actual actors from Star Trek to be in this fan made film. I believe it's a short film. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna find it.
Oh, they got in trouble? They're not allowed to do that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's really weird. I couldn't even really tell you. I mean, it's really weird. But I saw a little bit of it on YouTube, and it looked pretty awesome.
You know, I'm kind of sad that Street Fighter ended so briefly.
Oh yeah, it's if you guys there's a what was it? Street Fighter show. There was a Axanar. Yeah, Star Trek Axanar. So and Star Trek Axanar was a fan made film. It looked awesome. It looked like a regular Star Trek. The visual effects I could tell weren't what we're used to in seeing Star Trek stuff.
It's a smaller company.
But it looked great. Like to the untrained eye, this looked like a regular Star Trek show, and it looked awesome. Yeah, it's called Axanar. So these guys, they did it, and they used
Axanar. Okay.
Axanar, yes. So they did this this YouTube show, not a YouTube show, but this short. I think it's a short. They did a film. They did a Star Trek film. It looked amazing, and it was awesome. It was awesome. They even used what's that guy's name? Gosh, I'm just up here saying I'm a Star Trek fan. I can't remember names, but he was best friends with the Admiral in Enterprise. He was a Vulcan. He's the one that put T'Pol on the ship. Why can't I remember his name? I do not know. But he's even in it. That actor that played that guy, he's playing the same character. Looks great. That's more Star Trek than a Star Trek, which is crazy. So, the fans have done it. To answer your question, fans have done it. It looks outstanding. Maybe we can watch that later on.
Well, I was saying, I wish they were in charge of doing TV series.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you do have some fans out there that are in charge of doing the Orville.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't looking for the comedy thing.
So, the comedy looks great. It's almost.
I know, and that's why I'll be watching that with you. But I was talking about the more serious Star Trek. Jeez.
Yes, they pitched. And funny, they pitched this idea to CBS.
I know.
They don't know. I'm telling them now. I'm telling the viewers, listeners, if you don't know.
Yeah.
So they pitched this to CBS, and CBS turned it down. And then they ended up pitching it to Fox, and Fox thought it was great. They just, named it from Star Trek to Orville and changed names and all that. Now, there you go. So, they should have said yes.
Yep. No. Well, they got what they got. So.
Yeah. So.
Now look what they got now.
Yeah, they got a piece of trash that they're trying to clean up. Good luck with that.
It's your CBS app.
Which is CBS All Access that no one wants access to. So many paid subscriptions out there: Netflix, Hulu. Friggin' WWE Network. I mean, there's like billions now. HBO. Why the heck do I want another one, especially for one show? It's stupid. But CBS does have part ownership to CW, so the guys that had the same idea about, picking where they left off was saying it should just be on TV, regular TV, CW. Sure. It fits in because it's all sci-fi stuff like that. It'll work great. So, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Do you have anything else to add, Random Girl?
Nope.
Yeah, what do you guys think about all this? About Orville, the Orville, about Star Trek, this new one, Discovery. I mean, everything that we talked about today.
We're not even going to say Star Trek Discovery. We're just going to say this new one.
What do you think about this new one in Orville? Let me know what you guys think, because this is really.
Seth MacFarlane seems silly.
Is it a little bit, but I think it's going to. But yes, it's not doing it completely on its own.
Not in a bad way.
So I feel like it's going to be great.
It just seemed like a silly show.
Yeah.
Well, there was an alien there, and he was talking to an. Anyway, It seems like it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Well, as always, guys, like, subscribe, share. We enjoyed hanging out with you because, I don't know, man. Hanging out with you guys is the greatest. Mm-hmm. So, like, subscribe, share. And until next time, y'all, so long.